All right. Our team played very well defensively, especially in the first half and then the last 10 minutes of the game. So, as a point of emphasis, the last 2 days of practice. It was a quick turnaround after 4 days off for Christmas, but glad our guys could go home, spend some time with their families, and back at it.
Do you and your staff have a specific process you go through when you have a few days off for your guys, whether it's Thanksgiving or Christmas or any other break, in terms of helping them shake off any rust that may have accrued, or do you just assume it's a short enough break that they can get right back in it?
Well, we played our defense the last few games has been very below average, and we weren't happy. So last 2 days of practice have been very hard, and they played extremely hard in the drills they did. They're 5-on-5, and then it carried over into today's game. And so took a couple guys out earlier in the game for not defending, and they got the message, and then they really were impressive, especially in the first half, to hold them to 19 points because Fullerton was averaging 90 points a game.
To go off of that a little bit, it's the second game in a row now where you guys open up a double-digit lead right away. Do you feel that sense of confidence from the team right when they step out onto the court?
Yeah, it was nice. We were out to a big lead our last game in Central Arkansas, but they made 9 threes in the first half and cut it to 4 at halftime, and we were out twice on them, and they came back. So that was part of our issue. We just were playing the score, and all of a sudden we stopped playing hard and doing the things that we just did to get the lead. And then we have to regroup and try to do it again. Tonight we didn't do that. We just kept playing, and for the most part, played a very solid defensive game.
Obviously, the score and the performance is what you want, but what does it mean to have a couple guys with double-doubles, a triple-double, Jaden or Jermaine having a 20-point effort to have some of those guys do those things?
Well, our guards lead the way. Boopy had 12 assists, only 1 turnover, and BJ had a triple-double. That's pretty impressive. Samet had another 12 rebounds. He's 12 for his last 14 from the field. He's starting to finish around the rim at a much higher level than he did last year. Corey made 3 threes, and Sam made 2, and then Jermaine came off the bench and was spectacular, especially in the first half.
You mentioned so many things to point to, but what was the most impressive part of this performance in your opinion tonight?
Well, we knew how dangerous this team was because when someone scores 90 points a game, they're third in the nation in transition, how quickly they shoot the ball. We knew we had to get back on defense. So they had no fast break points in the first half, only 2 for the entire game. So that's probably the most impressive thing, to eliminate what they do well and to hold this team to 63 points.
You told us about games over the last year and a half where you were, I think you said, animated at halftime. What's your message like when you're up 32 as you go into the locker room?
Well, I think sometimes the coach, you have to give their guys some compliments, right? So we gave them compliments because it was due. You hold a team to 19 points, you're up 32 at halftime. That means they did a good job. And so our halftime message was keep playing hard, don't play to score, because we want to keep getting better as a team. And so we had a couple mistakes early in the second half. They hit some threes on us, but it was a solid performance, and we're proud of them because that's when you ask them to do something as coaches and they do it, then you have to congratulate them, tell them they did a great job.
To that end, given the fact that you had such a significant lead coming out of the break, the fact that you still outscored them in the second half, although by 15, not by 32, is that almost as gratifying, just because of, I guess, the human nature of taking the foot off the gas, or however you want to call it?
Yeah, we've had a lot of games here the last 2 years where we had leads at halftime and we're either outscored or tied for the second half when we're more talented. And so this was a gratifying game because, as you just stated, they came out and did what they had to do and what they're supposed to do.
How important, you mentioned Samet's last couple games, how important is it for him to really be turning it up a notch, especially with ACC play now right around the corner?
Yeah, as you see, these teams double team him. He was doubled tonight again, so he doesn't get sometimes as many shot attempts. He's had 7 in the last 2 games, but he is 12 or 14 from the field, which is it's great. But the Carolina team coming in here next Saturday is 7-1, 6-10, 6-10. They have 3 bigs that they play together a lot. They're I think one's averaging 19 and 11, and the other one's averaging 17 and 9, and the other one. So the front line we're going to play against next Saturday will be as good as any front line in the country, and Samet and the rest of our players have to be ready for that. But we're very proud of his development, his improvement, You see he's moving much better on the defensive end. He was MVP last game against Central Arkansas, the way he was switching, moving his feet because they had pick and pop fives. And tonight again, and he had three. How many block shots did he have tonight? Four more block shots. His timing's getting better, and he's starting to move better and anticipate things happening on the court.
You mentioned Boopy's 12 assists as a team. You had 30 on 41 made baskets. How well did you think the team was moving the ball around today?
That was great. Anytime you have 30 assists in a game, we had 26 last game, so to have 56 assists your last two games and average 105 points, that means you're sharing the ball, making the right plays, being unselfish, and creating for your teammates. It's fun to watch.
Since the beginning of the season, you've talked about this freshman class, saying there would be some bumps in the road in the early going, but you needed them to grow and develop for the later part of the season. And obviously, a lot of the different guys have shown some of that. But for stretches in the second half, you had, I think it was B.J. Edwards and 4 young guys, and Boopy Miller and 4 young guys. The young guys are getting valuable minutes. What do the veterans get out of leading those situations? Every
day in practice, our freshmen, we put them on the team, and they'll beat the veterans some days in practice. It doesn't make them too happy. You know, they want to play more games if that happens so they can get them back. But like B.J. Davis-Wright plays the point a lot in practice. When you have to play against Boopy Miller and B.J. Edwards every day in practice, and Jermaine O'Neal and B.J. Davis-Wright, those guys are being guarded by 2 of the best defensive players in the United States every day in practice. And you can see their improvement, and when they get in the game, they're more comfortable now because they're not guarded like that in the game. They're guarded like that in practice. And practice, but they have certainly improved. And Jaden Toombs he's made a big jump because he's getting more comfortable now, being out for 2 months. That was really hard on a young man. He's played so well in the summer and the preseason and the fall, and all of a sudden you have a wrist injury and you're out for 2 months. That was really hard on him mentally as well as his timing. And so you see he's getting more comfortable. And then Nigel Wall is going to be a great player. He's and Billy White, they're the other 2 freshmen. And you know, in a redshirt freshman, even Mitchell, you've seen how valuable he's been to us this year. And Chance, they're all getting better. And once we get in the ACC play, it's going to be different guys every night being their number called, and they have to be ready.
With that, with Jaden getting more comfortable, getting his rhythm, timing, how do you anticipate using him and Mitchell with Samet? You mentioned UNC likes to use 3 big guys at a time. Mm-hmm. How comfortable are you sending maybe all 3 of those guys out there once together?
Well, all 3 have very good hands and feet, so they can pass the ball. You saw Mitchell in transition through that pass without charging, and Jaden and Samet, they all have very good hands and feet. So we feel comfortable playing them together. The way Corey's been playing, he played outstanding basketball tonight at the 4. He can slide between the small and power forward. So we think we have a lot of versatility. So we'll see. There'll be a lot of lineups probably on Saturday, or big lineups, to try to counter their size and athleticism.
You mentioned a scenario in practice where once in a while your freshmen beat the veterans, and the veterans aren't too thrilled with it. But you and your coaching staff, how do you balance the gratification you get from seeing the freshmen improve against maybe disappointment that your veterans aren't taking the young guys?
No, we love it when the freshmen win. It's fun. That means the upperclassmen have to get on the line and run, and they run sprints, and they get even more frustrated. So we love it. And because that means your freshman class is, first of all, pretty talented, and secondly, they're improving and they're getting better, and they're competing. They compete. And you haven't seen Billy White yet, but he's improving. And Nigel Walls, you saw him a little bit tonight. First game he's played in a little bit. And so everybody develops at their own stages. Everybody has their own journey in the game of basketball. And some guys are long and lanky like Nigel and Billy. And Billy's supposed to be a senior in high school right now. He's just turned 18. And Nigel just turned 18 in the summer. And so did Toombs. And these guys are young. And we've played against some guys this year that are 25 years old. I think one of the players we played against, a big guy, was 25, literally 25 years old. So when you're talking about, and now all these G League guys and NBA guys, we're trying to go through the NBA now to see who we can recruit. And the way the NCAA keeps changing their rules, who knows? I mean, we may have a 40-year-old college student here soon. It's unbelievable, incredible. We're getting calls left and right from agents and from players and people. Well, if he leaves the NBA, he's never gone to college. Can he come? Well, he's 24 years old. We can do that now. So We're not sure how that's going to play out in the future. All I know is we're really proud of our freshman class. They're all 18 years old, but when you play against 24 and 25-year-olds that have been playing pro ball, it's a little challenging at times. But all our guys are going to be terrific players down the road.
Huge first half lead. What was working so well that effectively let you ice the game before halftime?
I would say our defense. We took pride on the defensive side today. Our last 5 games, Coach Cap said we gave up 80-plus points, so we just came in defensive-mindedly, and it just helped.
Yeah, we came in thinking about the last couple games that we've played. We came in trying to think about defensive rebounds and guarding the perimeter, and they're a great scoring team, top 3 in the country in transition points. So we came in to make sure they scored below their normal 90 points and to stop them on the glass.
Coach Enfield talked about how they like to get out and transition similar to you guys. How much fun is that when it's just back and forth, especially when you guys look like you were winning the transition battle?
I'll say it was really fun. Just we don't waste a lot of time on the shot clock, and they don't either. So you just allow both teams to get up a lot of shots. So yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, it was pretty fun getting everyone involved. Everyone got in the game, was able to touch the ball by playing fast.
Jermaine, you had a stretch where it kind of looked like everything you tried was working. You hit 5 of 6, you hit threes, you finished some alley-oops. Was that just the way the game was unfolding, or did you get into a stage where you sort of felt like everything's going to work and you were looking more and more for your shot?
To start off the game, I kind of just played within the offense. When the defense closed out too hard, I knew I could get downhill to the mid-range game. That's what I really try to focus on. It's a shot that coaches don't really think it's the best, but my coaches believe in me, and I've shown that I can hit it. Then once it started to fall, I knew it was that type of game for me.
And to go off of that a little bit, does this feel like the type of game that cements why you came to SMU and why you fit into the Handy Infield system?
Yeah, for sure. But I feel like every game shows why, because I can come in, just play defense. I can hit shots. I can go for 20. I can kind of do a little bit of everything, just depending on the day and what we need.
You got another triple-double today. Are you even aware? Do you peek up at the scoreboard, or do they tell you on the bench what your numbers are? Are you aware of what you need to get to milestones like that?
They told me I needed 1 more assist with like 5 minutes left, but I just go out there and try to go my hardest. To be honest, I look at the scoreboard a little bit. So during halftime, I told myself I was gonna get another triple-double just from the 7 assists. I think I had me like 4 rebounds, 3 points, something like that. But I just know how to go harder in the second half.
How much easier does it make some of those things when you've got the bigs that you've got that can handle passes and make their shots?
Yeah, it makes it way easier. Toombs, he's still recovering, but as y'all can see, he has amazing touch towards the rim, and then Cement just keeps getting better each and every game. But I'm going to still stay on about bringing the ball down because he's too tall to just catch it and then bring it down with the opponent. You just got to keep it up. But that's my guy, Cement, so we keep improving every game.
Coach has talked all year about this freshman class and how good he thinks they can be, and they are already. But for a stretch in the second half, it was you and 4 freshmen, or a redshirt freshman, and then Boopy as well in that role. Obviously, the young guys are getting valuable minutes and repetitions. What do you or Boopy get out of situations like that where you're the old man of the group?
I would say all the freshmen, they come in, they work real hard. As it shows, Jermaine just had 20 today, and honestly, he has a lot of pride in practice and stuff. It'll be all the starters versus the freshmen sometimes, and he'll start yelling at the freshmen. He'll get on them. So that's what we need. That shows that he really cares and he wants to play and he wants to help the team out. And just piggybacking on that, B.J. Davis-Ray, he's a great player as well. He may not shoot the ball that much, but in practice he's really improving. Toombs is improving. Just all the freshmen are just great. That's why we have a good recruiting class.
You mentioned the freshmen improving, combining that with players like Jaden getting healthy, Sam getting healthy. Does it feel like this team is now ready to take on the ACC?
Yeah, I say just the perfect timing, to be honest. Just everybody getting ready and just him having a great game today is just going to lead to the UNC game and conference play.
Coach Enfield talked about, like BJ just said, the times when it's all freshmen against the veterans in practice, and he said there are days when you guys beat the veterans. Is that almost as gratifying as a game like today against another school? Because you see these guys every day in practice, and you obviously know what they can do.
Yeah, it definitely is. We're all 18, 19-year-old freshmen, and we may not be as experienced as they are, but to be able to come in and practice and get on them and push them to be better, it's what they need. Because they push us every day, even when we lose, they're always going to push us. But they need us to be able to push them, so in the games, when we get punched in the mouth, they know how to respond.
How fun is it being part of this freshman class? That's a pretty big class, obviously a pretty talented class. I know some of you guys had connections before even coming here, but now being here and being a part of that group.
It's great. All 5 of us knew each other in high school, so to kind of grow up with each other, then being able to bring Billy in, who's a year younger, but we still kind of knew him. Then all of us are like-minded. We go to the gym together all the time, hang out. So it's just great to have 4 other people with me that are like-minded and that I've grown up with.